Yeah, I'm gonna repeat the question so that you can all know what we're talking about. I believe what she requested is, do we have additional manpower on hand to help pump out basements of individual homes?
First thing is, our primary task is to make the area safe and secure. The second thing is to wait for the water to recede in the ground itself. If we remove water too quickly out of a basement and there's a great deal of force on the outside of the basement, it will cause that structure to fail, okay? And so we need to be very aware of that. We're probably about 75% of the area has been surveyed, looked at, hazards have been identified, working on mitigation, removing those. DEC is coming in with some vac trucks to remove hazardous materials that have been found, and so we're working to that end. The north side of 365A is a lot of people are familiar with, around Oneida service area, Mott Street, that area, it still has a considerable amount of water in it. The DPW is continuing their dewatering effort. They have 7 pumps that are working currently there. Hopefully tomorrow morning the damage assessment teams can go in there. There are still a number of properties in that area that natural gas is still on. Okay, so that is our primary. We have been removing water from basements, and as quickly as we shut off the pumps, the water is coming back in. And so we certainly have the resources, the manpower, the equipment. I've requested additional resources from the county agencies for portable pumps and whatnot, which will be here tomorrow morning. And again, it's depending on weather. Obviously, we have a great deal of rain that's falling right now, and the amount of rain will dictate how quickly we can mitigate your basement. And again, we're working to that end. We understand, we're sympathetic, but if it isn't done in a coordinated effort, then it might create additional damage to your house.
Her question was, once we have gone in the house and made an assessment that there is structural damage that should prevent reoccupying the house until that's been mitigated, are we calling the folks to let them know that that's the case?
Currently, there's 3 different agencies that are going through to do those structural analysis. And Lexington in that area just became accessible today. Okay, and so we're still compiling that information. Will we be reaching out to those folks? Certainly. The building department here in the city of Oneida will be reaching out. We'll be doing a damage assessment and getting with those property owners and telling them the process of what they need to do in order to make that building safe, if that's possible.
Okay, this is a lady who says in order to access her basement, you have to go through the house is locked, and there are people who are hearing impaired there that we would have difficulty communicating with, so she's wondering how we're going to sort that out.
Again, over the course of the past 4 days, we've been very fortunate. You folks have been very patient. You've stepped up, you've come up, you've given us shared us your phone numbers, your contact information. I'm very well aware of your situation, and we'll be reaching out to those people that we find that the structures are locked and that type of thing, and giving you a window of opportunity, you know, whether it be 5 hours, 5 days, whatever, for you to say, okay, I can be there at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and make it. We're not going to create any more damage than has already been created.
Wrong. My door was kicked in and busted open. Nobody bothered to let me know. It would have been courteous just to hear if we had anything.
Sir, where do you live? Bennett Street?
Bennett Street.
Yes. There was, again, we have, and I'm not, I'm taking the blame for this. Some of the firefighters had to go in and I realize this, but again, on Friday at 2 o'clock when the water's rising 4 feet in 45 minutes, it's impossible to reach out to the public and say, we needed to make entry to ensure that the building wasn't occupied and that it was secure. And that's what happened.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know what kind of resources we're deploying from state, county, city level, and where exactly and who exactly can I talk to about security issues? I personally live on Scottagua Street. I personally watched people go past checkpoints, no IDs checked, no wristbands, no nothing. Pedestrians, vehicles, going in there, looking through houses, walking through people's front yards, taking stuff off the curb. Who can I talk to and what command center can I go to? Because every single Oneida Police Department, every single Madison County Sheriff, every single New York State police officer I've talked to said, it's not my problem, go there. It's not my problem, go there. Every single one of you guys has a radio on you, a walkie-talkie on you. Is there somebody that's in charge of all them walkie-talkies and all them radios? I know you guys are all out of different departments and pulled from this way and pulled from that way. Who's in charge of all the security?
Okay, right now, we have a perimeter set up. We do have several agencies involved. We have the state police, the county, the city, nation police. We got firemen manning some of the posts. There is a checkpoint in place. It's a very large perimeter. Can we guarantee that no one's going to get in around the whole perimeter? No, we just don't have that kind of personnel.
You're going through
Okay, just let me talk. As far as the checkpoints, we have somebody there that's, when they drive up, they go up to the checkpoint. The people at the checkpoint check them in, check them out, they give them a wristband. If someone drives by there, then we need to know about it. But I haven't had any reports that people are driving by the checkpoints. If that's the case, we'll assign police officers to each checkpoint.
They're walking right by the checkpoints. I watched them today. I'm getting them on a bicycle. Went right through the checkpoint. No ID check, no wristband check. Those of us who actually live down there, and those of us who are actually honest citizens trying to get to our homes, can't get down there. But people who don't actually live down there, there's some people down there that own properties. 90% of them down there are rental properties. Just because they're the landlord doesn't mean they're the resident. They shouldn't be down there. Their license doesn't say that address. Just because they own it, they shouldn't be down there. That's who's going around taking stuff out of people's front yards is landowners, not residents.
Okay, we have, like I said, we have the checkpoint in place. The only ones that's supposed to be going there is the resident. If the resident has somebody with them to help them, they check them in at the checkpoint. They're supposed to show a driver's license. I wasn't aware that people were getting by this checkpoint. What we'll do is we'll put police officers at each checkpoint. Anybody on foot, anybody in vehicle, they'll be stopped. We have patrols in there as much as possible, going around each area. Once people get in there, you get somebody with a wristband and somebody with them. It's very hard to control if they're going to a neighbor's house or somebody else's house, but we don't have the personnel to escort each one in and out, and people just don't have the patience to wait for us to do that. We're trying to keep it secure. That's why we have the curfew. That's why we got the heavy patrols in there. We got the perimeter set up, but it's a very large area, and to try and stop everybody from getting in there, it's not easy. But we have patrols in there. They're in there at night. They got lighting. If we have reports of break-ins, we'll investigate them. Right now, we've had one report of a break-in and one larceny. Anybody that does get to their home and they believe they've been broken into, anything's taken, let us know. We'll go from there. But right now, okay. So any other questions on that, just get with me after the meeting.